Do you have any update on JD? I know he hurt his ankle the other night in the game, but do you have any update on his status or how he's doing?
No update yet. Talked to him, doing okay, but no update as far as medical.
Can we stay with injuries? Jrue available.
Yep.
Any restrictions, and how's he feeling going forward?
I mean, he's feeling good. Feels good enough to play. So no restrictions, and it's fun to say to have him back out there.
You haven't had the starting lineup, the top five together since early March.
Oh wow.
How important is it for you to get those guys some time together on the floor?
I mean, we've had a number of games with that. I think it's just important to continue to build the habits, regardless of who's playing on both ends of the floor. I think that's more important than anything else. So we were able to get that lineup out in practice yesterday for a little while, and then an opportunity to do that here tonight and maybe going forward. So, but just the habits in general, I think, are the most important.
To be clear, Jrue will start.
I don't know.
To the best of your knowledge.
No idea. We're going to talk about that right after this.
We've talked about this all season, but why are you guys so good coming off of losses?
I mean, I think it's just the approach that the guys take as far as handling both winning and losing. And so I think the result is very important in the present, and then learning from it is the next most important thing, regardless of how you win or lose. So I think we're relatively good coming off of losses and wins because of the guys' approach to the next game, taking things that you can learn from it and just continuing to build. So hopefully we can continue that mindset tonight.
Is it any different tonight, the fact that you're facing the Hawks again?
No difference. There's 4 questions there.
Joe, are you intrigued to see how your team responds tonight?
No, not really. They responded to me already by the way we came out in practice yesterday. I thought we had a great practice. So every day is its own entity. Just because we come out well or don't come out well tonight has no impact on whether we, didn't do it the last game. I think it's more about just the daily habits and daily approach. So we had a great approach to practice yesterday, and now we got to make a decision to do it today. But regardless of how that goes, we just got to keep building those habits and that mindset.
What makes a great practice? I mean, obviously, guys being engaged. What do you think? This is good.
Just the intentionality, the attention to detail, the execution, the energy, and just the presence. So I think those things are important. The guys have a clear understanding of what we need to work on, as far as like short term and long term, and just getting to it and executing quickly. So it was a good day to be out there together. It was one of the first ones we had in some time.
Question about 2-for-1s at the end of quarters. It seems like it's kind of a trend league-wide, but you guys do it too. A lot of the time that first shot is rushed. Like, guy will just come down, take a contested shot at 32 just to get that 2-for-1.
Yeah, like the one Murray hit in front of our bench?
Yeah, kind of like that. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Exactly.
But
classic make or miss league.
But what do you think of just the way that players will try to get that shot even if it's not a good shot? How does that bear out over time?
I mean, I think you have to take a look at how much time is on the clock when you go for the 2-for-1. So if it's at 37 and you're trying to get a shot, I think that if you take a look at it, like the average possession at the end of a quarter is .90 on both ends of the ball. And so like if you don't take the 2-for-1 and then it's .90 on the offensive end and then they come down and they get the last possession and you don't score and they do, and then you lose .90 to 0. But if you get both of those things, if you get both of those shots, then you have an opportunity to beat your opponent on the expected points per shot, which is exactly what you're trying to do. So I think you obviously don't want to come down and heat it, but at the same time, like, we have to be able to get to a decent shot so that over time, and I think too many times people look at the 2-for-1 as like one particular shot on its own entity instead of over the course of the entire season of how many. We always talk about ending quarters the right way and starting quarters the right way. Like if you don't take that shot and you end more quarters on defense than you do on offense, then you're putting your defense at a disadvantage and you're getting less offensive possessions than your team. And so I think you can't look at a 2-for-1 of like, oh, that 2-for-1 shot is bad. It's like, what are the 2-for-1 habits over the course of the entire season? How many points are you saving and how many expected points are you generating for your team over the course of the entire season?
I mean, players have started talking about like we look more at 3-for-2 than 2-for-1, but
yeah.
Is there a certain point late in the quarter where you guys start to think of we need to start controlling possession and pacing so we can have that 2-for-1?
Yeah, I think right around before the 3-for-2 is when you have the ability to do that, and so we'll adjust our offense or defense depending upon what that number is, depending upon how the game is going to look for that. But if you look over the course of the season of our 2-for-1 numbers, like you can't end quarters on defense and give up shots. Like it's a .90. You're essentially giving up a point every time you end the quarter on defense, which over the course of the season could put you at a huge disadvantage.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks.
Oh, I had. I'm kidding.
Oh.